Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It is finally August here, so now we are going to talk about how to keep on growing your tomatoes in August before your last frost date. So let's get into the video. First things first, as you can see, we do have fruit, which is a good thing, but they all kind of fell over. And you're probably wondering why they keep on falling, and short answer is because the plant cannot support the weight of the tomatoes. So we pretty much have to stake these up now in order for these to actually not flop on the ground. So that's what we're gonna do. Another thing, when you are harvesting your tomatoes, usually you don't want to harvest them until they're almost orange, kind of like a light pink color, just to get it ripe. And usually for me it works best take the tomato off right before it starts to turn red, so like if any birds or insects try to snack on it. When you are about to harvest your tomatoes, you do not want to over water them, or else they will kind of unfortunately become a little mushy and soft, kind of like this tomato. So this one might not make it. And you can see the indent when I press just really gently. So this is kind of an over watered tomato versus this one. Now this also has the same touch to it. So you just don't want to overwater your tomatoes before you harvest. And if you do cut the lower leaves off of your plant to prevent like airflow, eventually I'm just going to use my cucumber as an example. See this amazing-ish lots of airflow through the vine, and then eventually you can see where the cucumbers will be. A little different for your tomatoes, but so we're just gonna trim away any of these browning yellow leaves. We can just trim off, and then
A few moments later.
And then right in the middle, you're probably wondering, if you're a new tomato grower, you're probably wondering what is in the middle of where the main stem is and where this leaf comes through. This is the sucker, and for in the tournament you can trim them off, and for determinate you don't need to trim them off, because that can actually help with the energy with your tomatoes. But pretty much for when you are cutting your leaves, you just want to trim usually the entire branch, just so the disease of the old leaves don't like spread to your other plants, kind of like this borage, but I think it's just out of the season, so we don't have to worry about the borage. But you also, another thing about tomatoes, you might get like pests, and the most common is like tomato worms or hornworms, and you want to get those off your plant immediately, as soon as you see them. Luckily for me, all what I have is just little spiders. As you can see, there's one right there, so tiny that the camera can't even focus. But pretty much you just want to trim off most of the leaves until there's airflow against the plant by pruning off all the yellow and diseased leaves, not plants. You will have good, healthy size tomatoes, hopefully. So pretty much if you do all of those tips, hopefully you'll get a good harvest on your tomatoes, and I'll see you in the next one. Keep on growing.